The calendar was turning near the foreshore. 1991 at the midnight door. Mom and Dad watched the boys by the railing side, watching the siren meet the rising tide. Jason and Vinny saw the white folks well as the new year rang like a crystal bell. Just a cabin and a key and a sea so wide. The start of a journey on a giant slide. That's still rising, caught our very souls, where the blue water bends and the thunder rolls. We stepped on the deck and we never looked back, following the foam on a liquid track. The salt in our blood and the wind in our hair, a family found their belonging there. In the heart of the ship where the sovereign rides, we found a home under royal skies. Years drifted like a bottle in the sand until the monarch called us back from the land. In the bloom of May '99, we set sail, tracing path through the glittering trail. Two ships in the distance, two moments in time, mapping a mountain we were ready to climb. From the first dinner plate to the final goodnight, the spark in our spirits was burning bright. And still rising, caught our very soul, where the blue water went and the thunder rolls. We stepped on the deck and we never looked back, following the foam on a liquid track. The salt in our blood and the wind in our hair, and firmly found their belonging there. In the heart of the ship where the kingdom's wide, we found a home under open skies. The water cuts through the salty blue on the monarch of the seas with a steady view. Mom and Dad leaning on the iron rail, setting our course for a Caribbean trail. Four of us gathered on the heavy wood deck, leaving the shore like a disappearing speck. The horizon is wide and the air is thin, waiting for the island magic to begin. Jason is laughing by the sliding door. Vinny's got stories of the ocean floor. Seeing out in the distance a lighthouse beam, living out a long-awaited family dream. We move through the hallways of polished steel. Every morning brought a brand new feel, tracing the map where the currents run, chasing the heat of a tropical sun. At the ain't misbehaving lounge, the grasses clink, pouring every color that a man can drink. Underneath the rafters of the Jolly Roger boat, keeping our spirits and our bodies afloat. In the heart of Antigua, where the sand turns gold, the finest days that our memories hold. With the liquor flowing and the company grand, we left our footprints in the island sand. Benny found a corner where the music played loud, distant drifting from the festive crowd. Dad told a joke while the ashtray shook. Mom gave the camera a satisfied look. The liquor was amber and the liquor was clear, drowned in the ghosts of the long working year. march and took an ocean dive. The waves kept time with a heavy hand. Far away from the grid of the mainland, the bottle was open and the night was wide, washed in the pull of a Caribbean tide. At the ain't misbehaving lounge, the glasses clink, pouring every color that a man can drink. Underneath the afters of a Jolly Roger boat, keeping our spirits and our bodies afloat. In the heart of Antigua, where the sand turns gold, the finest days that our memories hold. With the liquor flowing and the company grand, we left our footprints in the iron sand. At the ain't misbehaving lounge, the glasses clink, pouring every color that a man can drink. Underneath the rafters of the Jolly Roger boat, keeping our spirit band, our bodies afloat. In the heart of Antigua, where the sand turns gold, the finest days that our memories hold. With the liquor flowing and the company grand, we left our footprints in the iron sand. Leaves were green in the spring of 2001. The Voyager stood tall against the morning sun. Mom and Dad stood on the deck with the salt in their hand. Vinny and Jason found their freedom in the ocean. We left the harbor while the shore began to fade into a memory of the life that we had made. Oh, the steel was heavy, but we floated on the blue, past the days with the glass filled through and through. We took our fill at the table of plenty and pie, with the tide as our captain and the moon as our guide. It was a long week of wandering and a sweet time of old, in a world made of water and a story untold. Stood still. We climbed up the railing and we drank our entire fill. No match for the spirit or the laughter we found, just the hum of the engine and the white foam sound. The cabins were narrow but the horizon was wide, sailing through the hours with nothing too high. The brothers were restless and the parents were young. Songs of the voyage were the ones never sung. Every shadow was bright in the middle of the Caribbean, under the velvet of night. Oh, the steel was heavy, but we floated on the blue, past the days with the glass sailed through and through. We took our fill at the table of plenty and pride, with the tide as our captain and the moon as our guide. It was a long week wandering and a sweet time of old, in a world made of water and a story untold. Seven suns rose above the Caribbean tide, searching for the horizon with nowhere to hide. The calendar pages turn to May 2003, drawing four names out to the edge of the sea. The adventure was waiting with its iron hole wide, ready to swallow the shadows of the night. Mom and Dad stood steady by the railing's edge, while the boys made a silent nomadic pledge. Vinny was 27 and Jason 22, with the saltwater wind washing over the view. Two brothers tall in the prime of their youth, chasing the spirit of an unvarnished truth. The anchor lifted and the gangplank rose, leaving the heavy dust of the world that froze. We stepped through the doors where the lights never dim, to sink or to fly or to learn how to swim. 7 nights on the adventure of the sea, floating away on a warm southern breeze, from the velvet chair to the spin of the wheel, keeping our hands on the mahogany and steel. Laughter we gathered in the dining room air was the only treasure we needed to share. We found ourselves lost in the nightclub glare, where the smoke and the poles hung thick in the air. The casino was calling with its silver-tongued grace, as we studied the lines on every stranger's face. At the bars we toasted to the years gone by, while the moon cut a hole in the roof of the sky. The engine hummed a low, steady sound above the deep, deep blue, where the giants are found. We left our worries in the wake of the fall, finding a kingdom and calling it home. 7 nights on the adventure of the sea, floating away on a warm southern breeze, from the velvet chair. How's the spin of the wheel, keeping our hands on the mahogany and steel. Laughter we gathered in the dining hall air was the only treasure we needed to share.
The Chooch, live in Curacao.
Four shadows cast upon the pier, the silver hull is drawing near. A 7-night drift on the open foam, finding a path away from home. We traded the concrete for the tide, with nowhere left for us to hide. The adventure calls out through the spray, as the shore begins to fade away. Stand north and sands are turning wide, under the glare of the tropical light. Curacao painted in shades of blue, Aruba's warmth is coming through. We are the travelers of the deep, walking through secrets the oceans keep. Time of gaze with a heavy sun, the journey of four has just begun. Hey! Down where the heavy currents flow, where the surface light begins to slow. We bound the machines of steel and glass, watching the ancient empires pass. Waterfront scooters in a silent line, cutting through dozens of salt and brine. Breath held steady in a plastic dome, miles below the reach of home. The boss has got it maze in a muted world of turquoise haze. No words are spoken beneath the swell, just the ringing of a hollow bell. Gravity loses its iron grip on the sunken deck of a ghost-bound ship. Hey, hands on the handles of the frame. Oh, live in the quiet depths of lane. We circle the coral and the sand, far from the noise of the upper land. All of us drifting in a dream, part of a slow and steady stream. Thomas holds the underwater key to all the things we meant to be. Stead modern sands are turning wild under the glare of a tropical light. Curacao hanging in shades of blue. Aruba's warmth is coming too. We are the travel of the deep, walking through secrets the oceans keep. Thomas waits with a heavy sun. The journey of four has just begun. Stead mountain sands are turning wild under the glare of a tropical light. Curacao hanging in shades of blue. Aruba's warmth is coming.
Gangway settles as the iron hull breeze. White foam trailing in the turquoise leaves. 10 sunrises waiting on the blue expanse. A decade of hours in a slow dance. Many checks are ringing from the upper tier while we leave the harbor and the ghost of the year. The Southern Cross keeps watch tonight. Warm trade winds making everything right. Jason finds the groove where the currents beat. Walking on water with steady feet. Mom and Dad are hitched in the golden glow, watching the miles and the cigarettes flow. Brilliance on the water like a diamond crown. Soaring above the islands where the sun goes down. 10 long nights in a sugarcane dream, carving out a life on a deep sea beam. Family and a brotherhood bound by the tide. Nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. The Caribbean heat is a heavy velvet hand drawn from the grid of the dusty mainland. But wake is a mirror of the time we spent, a circle of kinship that refuses to bend. Rum in the glass and the deck beneath, sharper than a blade in a silver sheet. Vinny laughs loud at the edge of a dark. Jason sees the spray make a glowing spark. Parents count blessings in the humid air, with plenty of room and a spirit to spare. Brilliance on water like a diamond crown. Sovereign of the islands where the sun goes down. 10 long nights in a sugarcane dream, carving out a life on a deep sea beam. Family and a brotherhood bound by the tide. No way to run and no
The calendar was turned to February back in 2004, when the gangway met the dark and we left the winter shore. 10 sunsets waiting in the southern Caribbean blue, on a vessel built of silver beams where the ocean breeze blew. The brilliance of the seas was a giant on swell, with stories in the cabins that we swore we would not tell. Mom and Dad leading us through the salt and the tide, with Benny and Jason right there by their side. Old companions and the blood that runs deep and true, drifting south on a kingdom of white and of blue, through the warmth of the islands and the calm of the nights, underneath the rotation of the navigation lights. Constellations from the railing of the ship, with a glass held steady and a steady kind of grip. 10 days of heavy laughter and a slow moving air, the kind of easy silence that a family can share. From the ports of the tropics to the depth of the spray, every hour was a treasure that we stole far away. Mom and Dad meeting us through the salt and the tide, Vinny and Jace are right there by their side. Old companions and the blood that runs deep and true, drifting south on a kingdom of white and of blue, through the warmth of the islands and the calm of the nights, underneath the rotation of the navigation lights. Through the salt and the tide, with Vinny and Jason right there by their side. Old companions and the blood that runs deep and true, drifting south on a kingdom of white and of blue, through the walls of the island and the calm of the night, underneath the rotation of the navigation lights.
The calendar turned to 2004. We stepped off the dry land and left the shore. The brilliance of the seas was a whammer in a glass, ready to watch the blue Caribbean hours pass. The engines hummed a low and steady tune under the gaze of a pale afternoon. Finn and Jason leaned against the high rail, watching the wake leave a long milky trail. Mom and Dad stood where the salt breeze blows, and the quiet comfort that a family knows. The steel hull cut through the roll and swell, with stories that only the ocean can tell. Oh, the jet locks are rising slow, with a fresh and a salt water flow. A partial passage through the jungle green, the tightest squeeze that we have ever seen. Limon remains just a speck in the rear, while the heart of the isthmus draws us near. The Atlantic gates swung open and wide to swallow the ship on a man-made tide. Concrete canyons and the heavy iron gear, moving the giants through the heat of the year. Muddy banks lined with the vine and the fern, as the great silver propellers began to turn. We didn't go through to the midnight coast, just stayed for the part that mattered the most. A turn in the lake where the crocodiles hide, before drifting back to the eastern side, tracing the path that the laborers made in the flickering light and the tropical shade. The memory stays like a mark on a map, locked in a human and golden trap. 4 names written in the passenger log, found in the clearing of the morning fog. Oh, the depth unlocks a rising soul, where the fresh and the salt water flow. A part partial passage through the jungle breeze. The tightest squeeze that we have ever seen. Limon remains just as back in the rear, while the heart of the isthmus draws us near.
Nine nights upon the Atlantic swell, white foam breaking like a magic spell. From the Jersey shore to the sapphire deep, memories made of the kind we keep. Explorer of the seas under autumn skies, September sun in our tired eyes. From Cape Liberty, where the journey starts, we carried the islands back in our hearts.
The calendar turned to 2006. The family gathered for a summer fix. Mom and Dad lead in the happy line with Uncle Joe and Aunt Jim feeling fine.
Down the gangway in the morning heat, with the engine hum beneath our feet. Jason and Tara chasing down the breeze. Matt and Richie at the natural ease, walking the deck as the harbor fades, leaving behind the city shade. 9 nights upon the Atlantic swell, white foam breaking like a magic spell. From the Jersey shore to the sapphire deep, memories made of the kind we keep. Explorer of the seas under autumn skies, September sun in our tired eyes. From Cape Liberty, where the journey starts, we carried the islands back in our hearts.
8 souls drifting on a giant hull, watching a flight of a lonely gull. The Caribbean reached out its sandy hand to welcome our rowdy and joyous
We
band.
shared the meals in the midnight moon, wishing the voyage wouldn't end so soon. After ringing in the dining hall, the greatest season of them all. No heavy burdens or clouds in sight, just the steady pulse of the ocean line. 9 nights upon the Atlantic swell, white foam breaking like a magic spell. From the Jersey shore to the sapphire deep, memories made of the kind we keep. Explorer of the seas under autumn skies, September sun in our tired eyes. From Cape Liberty, where the journey starts, we carried the island back in our hearts. 9 nights upon the Atlantic swell, white foam breaking like a magic spell. From the Jersey shore to the sapphire deep, memories made of the kind we keep. Explorer of the seas under autumn sky, September sun in our tired eyes. From Cape Liberty, where the journey starts, we carried the islands back in our hearts. The calendar flipped back to the 6th year. Late summer heat fading into salt air. 8 souls boarded the explorer of the seas, cutting through waves with a certain ease. Under the sun of a blue September day, we watched the Jersey coastline drift away. 9 nights stretched out like a long silk road, leaving behind the asphalt roads. The Caribbean map was the only guide, floating along on a rising tide. The game of 8 and a holiday best, putting the explorer to a final Z test. Those memories stay bolted to the deck through a paradise. No clocks to wind and no alarms in the way. Just the movement of the ship in the bay. Find spirits bored in the dim lit lounge for the kind of joy that you rarely found. The dinner talk turned to stories of old, of how some moments never grow old. They friends and family drifting toward a southern star, knowing exactly who and where we are. Those memories say Baltic Club of yore. Even as the autumn begins to roar, we've found our sanctuary on the day. Secrets and promises we meant to keep. A voyage carved into the steady gas. Watching my islands and the seasons pass. Those memories stay bolted to the floor. Even as the ocean begins to roar, we found our sanctuary on the deep. Secrets and promises we meant to keep.
Turquoise tide. That songs were said before we ever reached the dock, leaving every ticking clock on the landward side. Down in San Juan, the storms rolled the weather. The harbor walls told secrets from the Spanish main. We traced the narrow streets through shades of blue, to the humidity and the gentle tropical rain. Like a dream from the white foam. The salt was thick upon our skin and hair. We cast our shadows where the trade winds moan, finding a temporary home in the humid air. But out beyond the reach of the harbor lights, further than the place where the tourists go, we found the edge of a different kind of world, where the sapphire waters move deep and slow, just off the coast of a rugged mountain ridge, a hidden sanctuary meant for the few, where the greenery bleeds into the blinding sand, in a paradise that the ancient spirits knew. Someday was a mirror for the open sky. Silence is broken by the crashing of the spray. Every footprint we left along the winding path was washed into the history of the day. Then we turned the bow toward the island peak, where Labadee stands tall against the gale. The spirit of the voyage is the only thing we see, tracing the curve of a phantom sailing trail. But out beyond the reach of the harbor lights, further than the chases where the tourists go, we found the edge of a different kind of world, where the sapphire waters move deep and slow, just off the coast of a rugged mountain ridge, a hidden sanctuary meant for the few. But out beyond the reach of the harbor lights, further than the places where the tourists go, we found the edge of a different kind of world, where the sapphire waters move deep and slow, just off the coast of a rugged mountain ridge, a hidden sanctuary meant for the few, where the greenery bleeds into the blinding sand, in a paradise that the ancient spirits knew. Oh,
parasol grin as we stood upon the deck along the meadow ridge. May was blooming back on shore, but the salt was in our head. Cape Liberty was shrinking in the cooling Jersey air. Explorer of the seas was a giant made of steel, with 9 long nights of ocean ahead of the captain's wheel. Mom and Dad found a quiet spot to watch the white foam curl, while Benny and Jesse started spinning in a frantic lover's world. The dining room was glowing under glass and silver light. Jay, Rashawn, and Desmond toasted to the journey on that first unsteady night. Steaks and heavy sauces, and the liquor was flowing free. Just a pack of kin and comrades drifting on the open sea. Oh, the 9-day run where the ship began to sail, with 1,000 miles of sapphire trailing in our trail. We were dancing through the lounges until the stars turned to day, lost inside the rhythm of a drifting cruise day. From the harbor to the hollows where the deep Atlantic goes, we were filling up the empty spaces in our sea loving souls. On the floor, we forgot the city clatter and the slamming of the door. Just the steady rhythm of the ocean and the laughter in the hall. 9 nights of being nowhere was the greatest gift of all. We lounged upon the sunbed till our skin was bronze and warm, fighting peace inside the center of a slow and gentle storm. The midnight buffet shimmered like a dream of endless gold, while stories of our childhood were gathered and retold. No one checked the calendar or looked toward the shore. We had everything we needed and a little bit more. Oh, the 9-day run where the ship began to sail, with 1,000 miles of sapphire trailing in our trail. We were dancing through the lounges until the stars turned to day, lost inside the rhythm of a drifting cruise day. From the harbor to the hollows where the deep Atlantic goes, we were filling out the empty bases in our sea loving souls. With the salt and the breeze, 9 sunsets long on the explorer of the seas. Rashawn, Jay, and Desmond walked the deck boys clean. Chuchi and Dolores caught the morning sheen. Benny and Jesse shared a glance and a grin, while Benny called for the festivities to begin. We left the harbor and the world far behind, with nothing but the blue on a frame of mind. Oh, the glasses stayed full and the ship stayed bright. We swayed through the hours in the belly of the night, from the deep of the pool to the spinning parquet. We washed all the dust of the dry land away. 7 souls drifting on a massive white hull, where the spirit's so buoyant and our happiness so full. Just a voyage in time where the clock didn't strike. Live in the sea
we heard what the wind and the propeller sing. Swimming through noon while the shadows stayed small. Dancing through lounges till we leaned on the wall. No map for the future, no ghost of the past. Just a circle of kin and friends making every spark blast. Vinny and Jesse found a spot in the sun, counting the knots till the journey was done. Oh, the glasses stayed full and the silver stayed bright. We swayed through the hours in the belly of the night. From the deep of the pool to the spinning parquet, we watched all the dust of the valley away. 7 souls drifting on a massive ride-up, with the spirits no buoyant and a character known. Just a voyage in time where the clock didn't strike, living the season that the wanderer lied. Hey! The hull is cutting through the glass of Jersey waters. 9 rotations of the planet on a floating steel frame. Explorer of the seas is hauling sons and daughters to where the map dissolves and loses every name. We left the harbor lights to fade behind the railing. The compass needle spinning in a silver trance. Beyond the reach of clocks and all the steady failing of a mainland life that never stood a chance. The song is thick upon the tongue of every stranger. The wake is writing letters to the deep. We trade the safety for the scent of distant danger, and wake the ghosts of sailors from their sleep. Oh, Samana is breathing in the green of the hills where the Dominican sun settles heavy and still. And we're drifting down to Magan's Bay to watch the tide turn in the St. Thomas heat where the pale spirits burn. From the Levantine sand to the San Juan stones, the Caribbean wind is rattling our bones. 9 nights of blue until the sky overflows, down where the World Trade Wind blows. Oh, 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 oh. The coral dust of Haiti clumping on our sandals. A private shore when a mountain meets the spray. We watch the evening lit by local waxing candles before the anchor hold the mystery away. And the fortress walls of old San Juan were calling, blue cobblestones reflecting back the Spanish rain. I saw the shadows of the conquistadors falling across the plaza like a dark and heavy stain. Hoy Samana is breathing in the green of the hills where the Dominican sun settles heavy and still. And we're drifting down to Magan's Bay to watch the tide curve in the St. Thomas Sea where the pale spirits burn. From the Levantine sand to the San Juan stones, the Caribbean wind is rattling our bones. 9 nights of blue until the sky overflows, down where the wild freight wind blows. Oh, the moon is breathing in the green of the hills where the Dominican sun settles heavy and still. And we're drifting down to Magan's Bay to watch the tide curve in the St. Thomas Sea where the pale spirits burn. From the Levantine sand to the San Juan stones, the Caribbean wind is rattling our bones. 9 nights of blue until the sky overflows, down where the wild trade wind blows. Oh, oh, oh. Selling the mark to winter turn gold. December days when stories unfold. Born in the vessel of towering white, chasing the horizon in the evening light. Mom and dad leading the family life, counting the stars as the ships align. We stepped on the deck of the Independence, leaving behind the world and its penance. Little Jason running through the open halls, they were laughing as the ocean calls. Vinny and Jesse hand in hand, Jason and MJ far from the land. 8 names carved in the salt and the spray. Oh, 5 nights of drifting so far away. On the Caribbean tide is a sapphire flame, calling every spirit by a secret name. We were drinking the sun from a crystal glass, watching the velvet seasons pass, eating the bounty of the southern seas, bending the shadows through the tropical streets, just relaxing as the trade winds blow in the holiday haze of a long ago. Was a city of steel and grace, a floating palace in a timeless space. The wake behind us was a silver trail, above the mast where the seabirds sail. No clocks were ticking on the cabin wall, just the rise of the tide and the heavy drawl of the waves in iron and turning to foam, finding a heartbeat so far from home. Little Jason running through the open halls, they were laughing as the ocean calls. Vinny and Jesse hand in hand, Jason and MJ far from the land. 8 names carved in the salt and the spray. Caribbean tide is sapphire flame, calling every spirit by a secret name. We were drinking the sun from a crystal glass, watching the velvet seasons pass, eating the bounty of the southern seas, bending the shadows through the tropical breeze, just relaxing where the trade wind blow in the holiday haze of a long ago. 2015 was the year of the soul, when the entire family would finally hold. A winter air couldn't reach the shore, or law, just the 8 of us under the indigo sky, watching the wandering clouds go by. Oh, the Caribbean tide is a sapphire flame, calling every spirit by a secret name. We were drinking the sun from a crystal glass, watching the velvet seasons pass, eating the bounty in the southern sea, bending the shadows through the tropical breeze, just relaxing where the trade winds blow in the holiday haze of a long ago. Oh, every spirit by a secret name. We were drinking the sun from a crystal glass, watching the velvet seasons pass, eating the honey in the southern sea, bending the shadows through the tropical breeze, just relaxing where the trade winds blow in the holiday haze of a long ago. A path through the turquoise swell, where the salt there tells the stories that the sea goes nowhere. The anchor drops deep in the bay of the northern shore, looking for peace I haven't felt since the days before. Lush green hillsides leaning down to touch the sand, a quiet footprint left upon the Liberty land. No maps required when the sun sets high and gold. The heat of the morning and the spirit growing bold, moving down the coastline of the white Caribbean sky, watching the sapphire water as the world goes drifting by. From the hidden coast where the palms sway slow and free, to the vibrant coast of a life lived out at sea. Yeah, we find our balance where the trade winds start to blow. Oh, with nowhere left to hurry and a long way left to go. Oh, the iron gates of the past stand tall and weather gray, while the drums of the island chase the shadows far away. There is a rhythmic heart beating beneath the market floor, calling out a welcome from a Jamaican harbor door. Oh, you can hear the laughter rise and from a cobblestone, a melody that tells me that you're never quite alone. Cometh waits up early with the scent of spice and lane. A colonial ghost dancing down a narrow, dusty lane. Hand-carved wood and the bright colors of the fruit, searching for the blossom and the ancient tangled root. Oh, the ship is just a cradle on a moving glass of blue, bringing back a wonder.
The calendar turned its final leaf of 18. The Atlantic wind blew golden, sharp and clean. The anthem stood tall like a steel-clad dream, waiting for the family to join a floating stream. Mom and Dad leading the way through the hall, Vinny and Jesse answering the coastal call. Little Jason and Ava with eyes open wide, stepping up the plank to the ocean side. Jason and MJ rounded up the crew, ready for our highs and color deep and true. 8 nights on the salt and the moving tide, with the ones who stay forever by your side. The plates were full and the glasses never dry, under the ceiling of a vast December sky. No ghosts in the engine or dust on the shelf, just a family finding a way back to itself. Great times rolling like the swells of the sea, bound by the blood and the memory. We left the harbor lights flickering behind, to see what the southern latitudes could find. The dining room hummed with the silver sound, while the ship cut a path through the dark profound. The feast was a mountain we climbed every night, toast to the journey and the warm amber light. Laughter from the kids rang through every day, no worries to carry, no storms to check. The spirit of the season was a steady hand, guided by the joy of a wandering man. The weight behind us was a long wide road, carrying a weight of a heavy winter load. But the cabin was warm and the heart was light, chasing the dawn through the middle of the night. 8 nights on the salt and the moving tide, with the ones who stay forever by your side. The plates are full and the glasses nearly dry, under the ceiling of a vast December sky. No ghosts in the engine or dust on the shelf, just a family finding a way back to itself. Great times rolling like the swells of the sea, bound by the blood and the memory. Eight nights on the salt and the moving tide, with the ones who stay forever by your side. The plates are full and the glasses never dry, under the ceiling of a vast December sky. No ghosts in the engine or dust on the shelf, just a family finding a way back to itself. Great times rolling like the swells of the sea, bound by the blood and the memory.
feet, leaving the shoreline and the frozen the street. A giant made of steel and glass and light, cutting through the canvas of the winter night. Mom and Dad leading the family line, tracking the stars and the smell of the bride.
Vinny and Jesse shared a quiet glance, watching the waves do a slow motion dance.
The raiders were cold, but the spirit was bold. A story of us beginning to be told. The wake of the ship left a trail in the deep, while the rest of a weary world fell asleep. On the answer of the seas we found our way to the final hours of a fading day. December breath in the middle of the tide, with the whole wide horizon open and wide. 2018 was slipping away into the foam and the salt and the spray. Little Jason ran where the hallways been, chasing the magic that would never end. Ava was laughing with eyes full of pride, capturing lanterns in the middle of flight.
The cabin was warm and the cookies were sweet, a sanctuary found in a floating retreat.
Jason and MJ leaned into the breeze, finding a peace in the swaying of trees. A mass and of antennas reaching for blue. The orchid was gray, but the vision was new. The clock on the wall were a rhythmic beat of moments together that felt so complete. On the anthem of the sea we found our way to the final hours of a fading day. December breath in the middle of the tide, with the whole wide horizon open and wide. 2018 was slipping away into the foam and the salt and the spray. The calendar turns on a deck made of wood. We stood together where we understood that time is a vessel and love is a sail, weathering every Atlantic gale. Countdown began and I roared up the crowd. A promise paper was spoken out loud. On the answer of the seas we come. The shoreline drifts back like a memory fading slow, leaving the asphalt and the heavy heat we know. Steel towers coming high above the marshy ground, where the thunder starts its engines without a single sound. We watch the giants leaning on the Florida sky, counting down the moments till the rockets begin to fly. Yeah. Then blue takes over and the map begins to blur, tracing out a path where the warm current stood. The sand is pale as sugar on a private strip of land, just a temporary shelter built upon the shifting strand. Hammock swinging lazy under a painted crown of green, the quietest commotion that the eyes ever see. Moving through the gateway where the water turns to glass, watching every shadow and every white cap pass, from the large black hollows to the harbor in the east, finding some small comfort in the belly of the beast. One port calls for fire and the next one calls for rest, heading toward the islands on a slow and steady quest. Colonial colors line the streets of Nassau town, pink walls and limestone while the sun is sinking down. History is a market where the trinkets shine like gold, and the stories of the pirates are the only things being sold. Walking through the alleys where the air is thick and sweet, feeling the vibration of the world beneath our feet. Moving through the gateway where water